I'm going to show you how you can record a payment received from a client. Now we have an overdue payment here of 500,000 naira. Let's assume that this client has made the payment and we want to record this in our system. The first thing you're going to do is come over to sales here, and then you click on payments received. Now, once this is done, you can go ahead and click on new, and then you choose the customer. Now you're going to select the customer that owes you that invoice. And once you do that, they are going to bring out this option here because they know that there's an open invoice for this customer. So did you receive the full amount from the customer? If you did, you will just click on this and it will put the full amount here. If not, you can uncheck this and put the specific amount that was received from that customer. So let's say it was 250,000. You will just put that there as the amount received from the customer. But now let's assume that the customer paid the entire amount. We're just going to click on this. Now you're going to put any bank charges here in the process of receiving the payment. So let's assume there's a stamp duty charge of 50 naira. We're going to put that in. And then you put the date the payment was received. You also put the payment mode. So was it paid by cash or bank transfer, credit card? Let's say bank transfer. What account was the payment deposited to? So you might have different banks for your business. You're going to choose the appropriate account. You're also going to add the reference number for the transaction so it can easily be tracked and referenced. And then they are showing you here the unpaid invoices for this client. The amount due is 500,000 and the payment made was 500,000. So you know that once this is done, the amount that the client owes is going to be zero. If the client had paid more than this amount, then you would have an amount in excess for the balance, right? So once you're done setting all this up, you're just going to scroll down. You can add an internal note. The customer would not be able to see this. So you can say payment for XYZ services, payment for, just add the notes that are important to your business, knowing that your customer would not be able to see it. You can also upload a file here where you attach maybe a receipt of the payment made or whatever important documentation as it relates to this payment. And then once you're done, you're going to go ahead and click save. Good. And the payment from the customer has been recorded. You can get the payment receipt here. Look at it. This is a sample of what it looks like. Amount received, payment date, payment mode, and so on, as well as the details of the transaction. So you can come to PDF/print. You can download a PDF version of this so you can keep it in your records, email it to the customer as a receipt and so on, or you could print it out as well. Now let's go over to our dashboard to see how this payment has affected the dashboard. So before this payment was made, we had an overdue payment here. But now that the customer has paid and we've recorded the payment received, the overdue payment is completely gone, which is great. And if you scroll down as well, you also see the payments that have been made. It will reflect here in your income. It will also, you also see down here in your total income and so on. So this is how you can record a payment received from a customer. You can apply it to an invoice. Now, if you receive a payment from a customer and you don't apply it to an invoice, it will show as a payment in excess. So let me show you how what that looks like and what you can do with a payment in excess. So let's go back to payments received. And we're going to create another one. Good. We are going to choose the same customer, Lily. And then the amount received, we are going to put 100,000. No bank charges. We received it as a bank transfer and blah, 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 blah. Good. Now you can see down here, it's showing amount received 100,000, amount used for payment 0, because there is no invoice, no open invoice for this client. So this money being paid will be recorded as amount in excess. So we are going to go ahead and save this. And it says, would you like to store the excess amount of 100,000 as overpayment? the excess will be deposited in the unearned revenue because you've not worked for it. So we are going to click on continue to save. Perfect. So now we have this payment that has been recorded and we are owing this customer, right? If you want to see that, you know, there's unearned revenue for a customer, you would go over to your customers, the customers menu, and you would see this here. So you have Brian here and it's showing receivables 220K, but Lily doesn't owe any money. So if we click on Lily now, let's look at the transactions. You can see it here. Under receivables, unused credits is 100,000 naira, which is the payment that was made and has not been applied to any invoice for any service or product. Now, how you can clear this unused credit is to create an invoice and apply these credits to that invoice. So we are going back to invoices, or we're going over to invoices, and then we are going to create a new invoice. We're going to skip this. We will choose the correct customer, which is Lily. Good. And then we are going to set an amount. So you're going to put the service the person has paid ahead of time for. So let's say this is Meta Ads Services. And we're going to put the rate. Good. And then when you're done, you can come here and click, I have received the payment, right? If you need to, or you can just finish creating your invoice. You click on save as draft. Perfect. And then you can see this here now. Credits available, 100,000 naira. This is the excess payment or the unearned revenue from this client. So you can easily click on apply now. And they said on applying credits, the invoice status will be changed to sent. It's currently in draft. So you click on OK. And then credits available is 100,000, which is the excess payment made. You can apply that in total to the account. And then that would clear off the excess payment and also pay off this invoice. So you click on apply credits. And that's it. So you have applied the credits to this invoice. Is going to change to paid, and that unearned revenue now has been earned because you've created an invoice for a service or a product and you've sent it across to the customer. So it is assumed that the excess payment was for that invoice. So I hope this makes sense. I know it can get a bit complicated at times, but this is how you can record payments received and what happens if you have an excess payment from a client, how you can clear it up, and so on. If you have any questions, please leave it for me in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. You can also check out this playlist where I share tutorials and tips and tricks on how to use ZohoBooks, the different features it has that you can use for your bookkeeping and business accounting. I'll see you in the next video.